Hey everybody, Cam the Pitman here with Bar Heart Spice Company. Look, I did a live the other day where I did some smoked turkeys. Now, a lot of people asked me a lot of questions during and after, so I figured I would make one video showing you how I do my Thanksgiving turkeys. What I have here today is a 12-pound pre-brined turkey from my local HEB. So, yes, you can get them a lot cheaper. You do pay more if you get them pre-brined already. However, I have one day to do this. I don't have days to let this thing sit out and thaw, and I don't have an overnight to try and brine it myself. So we're going to do a pre-brined turkey. We're going to get it injected, get it seasoned, but first I'm going to show you how I prepare it. All right, so we got this turkey out of the package. I want to take off some of this fat out of here. We're going to trim off some of this excess neck skin, just like that. I'm going to get this thing carved. So the way I carve mine, some people spatchcock their turkeys. Mine, I just cut them straight in half, like almost like you're doing a competition chicken. So the way I'm going to do that today, I'm going to come straight down on top of the breast, right in the middle of the bone. When I feel my knife hit it, make sure you have a beefy knife with a lot of leverage, okay? I feel my knife hit that bone, you just kind of push through, and boom, he's open. So now I have my turkey opened up. Okay, you got some excess meat here, you got some connective tissue here, but really all these bones and everything is going to help carry heat, because I want to put this bone side down, so it's going to help carry heat up and through the turkey and into the meat. So we're going to use this whole thing to protect the meat. So I like to cut the backbone out completely. The ribs tend to snap pretty easy. Also, make sure you have a nice beefy knife to do this part. Now, if your turkey's big and you run into some issues, you can get a hatchet, you can get a small saw if you want to, or today, just got just a black rubber mallet. Done. Easy enough. See? Move that turkey over. So, now I'm going to come back and I'm going to remove the spine from this part. Okay? I'm going to use the same method. Get my knife lined up where I want it, up against the midsection as much as possible. Right off. See? Down here at the leg quarter, this is where it gets the most difficult. But not if you have a mallet. Do not use a giant hammer. You will break your knife. Ask me how I know. For our inject today, you get this at any local grocery store, Tony Chachere's Creole butter. It's a household favorite. You can make your homemade injects if you got a lot of turkeys that you're doing. You can kind of save some money by melting some butter, putting in some hot sauce, put that kind of stuff in it, and injecting that. But today, I'm trying to keep it easy so y'all can follow these instructions. Default to this, Tony Chachere's Creole butter. It's phenomenal stuff. And it comes with its own injector. Okay, now, the injector needle is packaged inside the plunger. Okay, so we're gonna get that out. We're gonna give this a twist. Now, your initial instinct with this may be to peel this top off and pour it in a bowl or something like that, and you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let me show you guys a little trick. I'm gonna dive into my medical training here. My full-time job, I work on an ambulance. Let me show you a little trick here. I'm gonna poke one hole to allow air to get in, and then a second hole where I'm going to draw from. And all I gotta do is tilt the bottle and fill up the plunger. See? No mess. So now I got my plunger completely full. I'm gonna come over the top of this turkey, If I was to have my own brine with a lot of aromatics and other flavors, I don't want to cover that up with too much inject. But with this one being brine just in salt water, I'm gonna go ahead and be pretty inject happy with this one. So I'm gonna come down on top of the thigh, fill it up. You see the skin swell? Let me show you guys again. Watch the skin puff up. That's how you know that inject has made its way around. You're gonna do the thigh, you're gonna do the wings. When you go to inject, do not stab straight in. Look what happens whenever I go straight in. You're just gonna inject your board. Come at an angle, okay? Just like at the doctor's office. They come at an angle, right? See that skin puff up? With all that flavor, that's how you know it's gonna be good. Again, I'm just gonna tilt the bottom, draw it out, no mess. I want to open this wing up. I want to get the underside of the wing. Yeah, puff up. I want to get the drum of the wing. Fill that sucker up all the way. Look at that. This bird is now on performance enhancing drugs. That's why his biceps are so big. We're going to flip this leg over. See him puffing up. That's it. That's the stuff right there. It's like with the original Space Jam, Michael's secret stuff, and Bugs Bunny and all his Looney Tune buddies got all jacked. This is what we're doing. This is the secret stuff. Come in at an angle. That way I know that everything is along in the meat. Now time to do that breast. Okay, so this breast, people tend to like get all here in the middle, but they forget this up here. Okay, so I'm gonna come in with the breast. Yes, I am going straight in, but I'm gonna kind of dig it around a few times and make a little flavor pocket with it. Then I'm gonna inject. See it puffing up? I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna repeat the same thing. Puff it up. 2, 3. Puff it up. And drop some more. The tip of the breast don't need very much. Okay, and all this that's coming out, kind of leaking out, rub that on your turkey. That's going to be your binder. These needles, simply give them you can wash them and reuse this, or if you wish to dispose, slide it back in just as you found it. Okay, if you leave that needle exposed in the trash can and someone goes to grab it and take out the trash later, they're getting stabbed. So don't do that to your friends. We don't stab our friends. All right. I've got turkey ready to go. So now it's time to season it. Today's seasoning, it's gonna be my very own Armadillo Bold. You guys have seen me make videos about this before. It literally works on everything. Let me show you. First I'm gonna season is the underside, okay? This side here, it's gonna take the majority of the heat. I'm not too worried about bark formation. I just wanna make sure some flavor goes all throughout. So I'm gonna just kind of give this side a good dusting. Just kind of add some color to it. Give it a flip. Start in the armpit. Don't forget your armpits, folks. Get the front of that breast. Come down over the thighs. Okay, and don't forget the underside of that thigh. And drum. How's that for a good looking bird? Move that over to my pan. Do the same thing with this one. Got all this flavor that it's going to put on this poultry is phenomenal. It's a perfect blend of common Texas flavors. So we've got some like mesquite smoke in there, coarse salt, coarse pepper, some turbinado. Turbinado it adds a little bit of sweetness into the bark, but doesn't sit there and like melt the sweetness into your meat. This is overall very savory and bold rub. Got some mesquite smoked achiote, which is the main ingredient in like red fajita. 16 mesh pepper, and coarse salt. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Let's get these birds over to our smoker. Here with the breast facing the fire at first, we're gonna give them a rotation here in a little bit, and I'll explain to you why then. But I want that breast to pretty up. We're gonna tuck this wingette underneath. Same thing, I'm gonna tuck this wingette underneath. This isn't something I would normally do if I was doing a bunch of them. I wanna show you how pretty this breast can be, all right? Let's tuck that to bed, we'll check on it in a few hours. All right, y'all, the turkey's been on for about 2 hours now. Let's open up the pit and see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, look at that. It's dripping, skin is dark. All right, so contrary to what you may have been told, I personally choose not to take my turkey all the way to 185 degrees. All I need is for this breast to be firm. Ooh, that juice is pocket. And that's it. Okay, I just need it to be a little bit firm, and we are there. All right, so now I know that this dark meat, white meat, wing, breast, dark meat, it's gonna require a little bit more cook. So I'm gonna rotate these completely around. Okay, let's get that done now. Look at that dripping. Just gonna rotate these around. The heat is gonna come up those bones and finish this part off. All right, so I'm gonna do that with this side. And that's as a best practice. The one that was in the front, I like to move to the back. See more heat back there. The one that was in the back, move to the front for the second part of the cook. Try and get everything as even as possible. Look at that color. Man, don't that look good. Y'all, them turkeys are looking phenomenal. I don't expect them to be very much longer. It has been about 3.5 hours, and that is it. And these turkeys are done and off and wrapped. I'm gonna peel the foil back so you have to see exactly what they look like. Skin's crispy, smoky, everything that you can want in a turkey.